Welcome back to Golf Xtra. LIV Golf has been in the headlines nearly the entire past year for their massive payouts, which have continued to lure big-name players away from the PGA Tour. It almost seems like LIV and its Saudi Arabian backers have an endless supply of cash, which makes it a no-brainer for certain players to decide to make the move. However, there's always a catch with deals like this, and recent reports suggest that the catch, in this case, is a big one. Just how big? Stay tuned here on Golf Xtra. The true details will shock you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Now let's get right into all the details surrounding the potential mass exodus from LIV Golf and the steep penalties that might accompany it. LIV Golf has been offering a tempting proposition to many of the top golfers in the world. On top of gigantic payouts that can sometimes top more than $100 million, LIV initially offered players a reduced schedule of only 8 events per year, with guaranteed payouts for every event, an opportunity to play on teams and make even more money, and more autonomy over their personal image and marketing ability. Players like Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, and Cam Smith all touted various aspects of the appeal of LIV and its associated package when explaining their decision to move over to the organization. However, things have certainly changed in the weeks and months since. LIV has started to flounder already. Their hopes at a big-name broadcast deal were replaced with a deal with the CW network, and their overall engagement with the golf world has lessened as the original shock value behind the deals has worn off. Things have already progressed to such a point where onlookers have begun to wonder just how sustainable the venture is, and if the golfers playing on the LIV Tour will decide that they want to return to the PGA Tour. As it stands now, the rumblings surrounding players making the big jump back to the PGA Tour full-time are relatively quiet. However, there have been not-so-quiet rumors that players do want to have the ability to play in some of the PGA Tour events while they're not playing in the LIV events. However, it's not going to be as easy as just making that decision on their own. Like we mentioned at the start of the video, there's always a catch. And in the case of LIV, the catch is enough to bankrupt a small country. As Sports Illustrated golf reporter Alex Maselli wrote, none want to play a full season on the PGA Tour, which is good because their LIV contracts, while not prohibiting them from playing a full schedule on another tour, does force them to honor their commitment to LIV, and if for some reason they wanted to leave LIV, the penalty clause is 2, 3, or 4 times their signing bonus to break their agreement. This penalty clause effectively keeps the players part of the LIV stable until the contract expires after the 2025 season. Okay, we definitely expected that the penalty would be very strict given that the initial payouts were so high. There's always a catch after all. But as much as 4 times the cost of their initial contract? That's crazy. It means that a player like Dustin Johnson, who signed on with LIV Golf for a reported $125 million, would have to pay back as much as $500 million to LIV's backers if he decided to go back on the original agreement. Okay, it all seems crazy, but as of now, there hasn't been any indication of players seriously pursuing a substantial return to PGA play. However, recent revelations surrounding the contracts at LIV Golf add some additional backing to the thought that players might want to get out of their contracts. Some of those terms were recently covered on Twitter by John Nucci, who is an expert on sports law and conduct detrimental, the sports law interaction. He laid out a lot of details within the recently revealed contracts. His great work gives us an excellent window into the contracts, including the main term. Players must play in every LIV event as a fundamental condition of their contract, and LIV retains sole discretion in the number, location, or dates of events. LIV has already exercised that discretion to increase the number of events from 8 to 14, not including the 4 majors. That's the first red flag in these LIV contracts. While lots of players cited the reduced load on their schedules in moving to the 8 LIV events, LIV has already changed their schedule to add an additional 6 events. In addition, the contracts stipulate that players grant LIV an exclusive, perpetual, royalty-free, worldwide, irrevocable license to exhibit, exploit, and otherwise use players' identification in connection with any promo activities, apparel, and all content created by LIV during the term of their contracts. And in addition, players must wear LIV team apparel in LIV events, non-LIV tournaments, and other events in which they must participate. Okay, hold on. So players have to exhibit their association with LIV at nearly every possible moment, even when they're not playing in actual LIV events? It's a pretty steep ask, considering that neither the PGA Tour or its affiliates like the DP World Tour or the Asian Tour require that of their players. On top of displaying their LIV affiliation at all time, LIV players are also obligated to make required appearances, including multiple sponsorship activations, receptions, meet and greets, and appearances at each team's draft event. That scheduling obligation is starting to appear a lot more cumbersome than initially expected, especially considering that players must lend their likeness to content creation, including photo shoots, video content, participate in a miniseries documentary series, and agree to their inclusion in LIV marketing materials. And if any LIV players want to try to talk to other media outlets about their golf games, they'll have to get the approval of the higher-ups in LIV. That's right, LIV players are prohibited from providing exclusive interviews with or appearances in or on any media or social media in relation to any LIV activities without first obtaining LIV or team operator approval. Yikes! All of that preceding material might have been enough to scare most players away, regardless of the huge payout. But the cherry on top is that the contract also states that players must not make statements or commit acts in public forums that are false, defamatory, slanderous, or that may adversely affect the reputation or public image of any relevant person. Relevant persons include LIV shareholders like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Journalist Alan Shipnuck recently revealed that there was a distinct possibility that a former PGA star might be thinking about making his return to the PGA. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings that Brooks Koepka has buyer's remorse. He took the money when his brittle body was still being put back together, and in private, he has confided to folks he wasn't sure if he would ever get fully healthy again. But now Koepka is feeling frisky and supposedly rethinking his career choice. The release of the LIV contract terms only made these rumblings louder, but Koepka quickly silenced them, both with his great play on the course and his statements in the press. He won the LIV Orlando event for his second individual win on the LIV circuit, and afterwards stated, "I've been playing really good for a few weeks. It just hasn't shown on the scorecard, making dumb mistakes. It was nice to come out this week and play mistake-free pretty much." That still left the question of his supposed impending departure, but he quickly quashed that, saying, "I'm fine, I'm satisfied, I'm content with every decision I've made. I know everything I was getting into." So even with those seemingly oppressive terms in the LIV contracts, it appears that for now everyone is happy with their decision to join the organization. It remains to be seen if that good feeling will continue to last through what appears to be difficult times to come for LIV, and if anyone will have to pay that huge penalty. So what do you think about the LIV contract terms? Do you think that any LIV players will decide to leave for the PGA Tour and pay that huge penalty? Be sure to leave us a comment with what you think down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can watch our latest content updates as soon as they drop. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day.